We are taking you into the news right now with the Fox 45 news feed. It's 11 a.m. Another round of voting in D.C. as House Republicans try once again to elect a speaker. How this round of voting is different than past votes. A mid-air scare. A pilot is accused of trying to turn off a plane's engines and down it mid-flight. How he was subdued and the serious questions it's raising about flight safety. But first, topping local news, the city's crime crisis is taking center stage. Some community leaders are coming together to search for a solution to fight the crime in the city. How mayoral candidate Sheila Dixon plans to push for a safer Baltimore. Fox 45 News Midday starts now.
Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 News Midday.
Thanks for joining us for Fox 45 News Midday. I'm Patrice Sanders. We begin with breaking news. Yet another Trump lawyer is pleading guilty in the Georgia election case. Jenna Ellis is pleading guilty to aiding and abetting false statements and writings. She is the third Trump lawyer to admit guilt in the case. Last week, fellow attorneys Sidney Powell and Kenneth Chesebro entered guilty pleas. In all, 18 people, including Trump, have been charged with efforts to overturn the election results in Georgia. Also breaking, House Republicans are starting another vote for a House Speaker. There are now 8 people in the race for Speaker. Members began casting secret ballots earlier this morning. The candidate who gets the fewest votes in each round will be dropped from the running, and that will keep going until there are 2 candidates left or one candidate gets the majority of votes, whichever comes first. Now, in order to win election, the nominee then needs 217 votes. Republicans hold 221 seats in the House. Democrats have 212. It is a slim majority of just 9 that allows the GOP to lose only 4 votes. Breaking overnight in a city in crisis, another shooting, this one in northeast Baltimore. Police say a 36-year-old man was shot just before midnight. Now, we know that crime will be a major concern for voters in the upcoming election. It's something mayoral candidate Sheila Dixon has spoken about extensively. And as Olivia Dance shows us, she is taking part in a Fox 45 News town hall on crime tonight.
Sheila Dixon will join Fox 45 News tonight for a public safety town hall. It all starts at 7 just behind me here at the Bilingual Christian Church of Baltimore. The mayoral candidate will join a panel of public safety experts to answer questions about crime in the city. Mayor Brandon Scott was also invited to participate but hasn't responded to our requests. But an example of Dixon's concerns about crime were on full display in Sandtown last night. She came together with several other community leaders to address crime, specifically in the Sandtown community, which has long been plagued with problems.
I've been hearing a lot of gunshots almost every night.
Children under the age of 18 being murdered in Sandtown is a high peak right now.
One young lady, 13 years old, was killed right in front of the recreation center a couple of years ago.
Not long after that teen lost her life, the city moved in and shut down the Lillian Jones Recreation Center, a move which community leaders say has had a devastating impact on the Sandtown community. With the recreation center closed, the community has lost the one location where kids could access opportunities. Now community leaders are coming together to strategize ways to keep kids involved off the streets and to reopen the rec center. Among those pushing for solutions is Dixon. Take a listen to what she said.
There's a lot of challenges in this area, and there have been spot development done in the area, and communities have come and gone as far as being involved. But the collaboration of all these groups is just going to make them stronger.
After 2 years, the city is now vowing to reopen the rec center next year. And again, you can hear Dixon discuss more crime concerns like this during our town hall tonight. That's starting at 7. For now, reporting in Baltimore, I'm Olivia Dance, Fox 45 News, Midday.
11:04 and turning now to the latest out of the Middle East. We are learning more about 2 hostages released by Hamas. The 2 were released at Gaza's border with Egypt. They are Israeli citizens and are currently in okay medical condition. This resembles the process that took place on Friday when Hamas released 2 American hostages. Now we're also learning more about Omer Balva, the Maryland man who was killed while serving in the IDF. Balva was killed by a Hezbollah missile Friday at the Lebanon border. He grew up in Rockville and was a former student at the Charles Smith Jewish Day School. The head of the school says Bova was always passionate about Israel and wanted to return home to defend his country.
He was really grounded in this community, but he also felt his Israeli heritage a lot. And our school emphasizes strong personal connections and relationships with Israel and its people. And I think that fueled something that had already really existed inside of him from when he was a young child.
Fox 45 is partnering with Magen David Adom for Sinclair Cares humanitarian relief for Israel, the Red Cross affiliate providing emergency medical aid for all people in Israel. To help, you can scan the QR code on your screen or go to sinclaircares.com. Here's a look at today's top trending stories. Trending number one, the young squeegee kid who shot and killed Timothy Reynolds is sentenced to 15 years in prison. Tavon Scott is now 16. He was just 14 when prosecutors say he shot and killed Reynolds. A jury convicted him over the summer of voluntary manslaughter as well as a gun charge. He was found not guilty of first and second degree murder. The jury rejecting the idea was premeditated due to Reynolds approaching the group of squeegee kids with a baseball bat. Following the shooting, the mayor rolled out a squeegee collaborative plan that took effect in January. Trending number two, a manhunt is underway for 49-year-old Pedro Argote. He is accused of shooting and killing Maryland Judge Andrew Wilkinson outside of his Hagerstown home on Thursday night. Washington County Police found Argote's car Saturday night, but they haven't found him. Police say the shooting came hours after Wilkinson signed off on Argote's divorce, giving his ex-wife full custody of his 4 children and their house. Trending number three, the federal trial of former City State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby is set to begin 1 week from today. Mosby is facing 4 federal charges, 2 for perjury and 2 for making a false statement on loan applications involving 2 vacation homes that she purchased in Florida. Jury selection begins Tuesday in Greenbelt. Trending number 4, memorial services for fallen EMT firefighter Rodney Pitts III will be held this week. Pitts was killed in a row home fire along Linden Heights Avenue last week. 4 other firefighters were hospitalized. There will be viewings tomorrow and Thursday at the Duderock Funeral Home in Dundalk. The funeral is this Friday at 10 a.m. at the Cathedral of Mary Our Queen in Baltimore. And trending number 5, Maryland football's co-offensive coordinator, Kevin Sumlin, is out on bond after being arrested on a DUI charge in Florida this weekend. Sumlin joined Michael Locksley's staff prior to the season. He's been a head coach at Texas A&M Houston and Arizona. Last week, the Terps were on a bye. This week, they're preparing to head to Chicago to take on Northwestern. Download the Fox 45 News app for up-to-the-minute traffic conditions, breaking news and weather anytime. Search WBFF in your app store. Still ahead, Halloween is exactly 1 week away. A lot of people will be out trick-or-treating with their kids, but how old is too old to trick-or-treat? It's a controversial topic each year. Coming up, how some cities are imposing age limits on the Halloween tradition. But first, an off-duty pilot is accused of trying to overtake a plane and turn its engines off mid-flight. How passengers are describing the scary ordeal and the safety concerns the issue is now raising. And Hogan versus Harvard, why the former governor is distancing himself from the Ivy League.
Well, another day with plenty of sunshine, a little less wind, and a warmer afternoon ahead, even though we started off pretty cold this morning. A big warm-up on the way later this week where we could be seeing some records either tied or broken. We'll get to close to 70 this afternoon for a lot of us. We'll be much warmer overnight, so dropping to about 50 for Wednesday morning, and then back to the mid-70s on Wednesday afternoon. Coming up in a few minutes, we'll take a closer look at just how warm those temperatures go and a brief look ahead at Halloween.
Fox 45 News, winner of 16 2022 Regional Emmy Awards, more than all other Baltimore news stations combined.
11:10, taking a look at your social stream. Former Maryland Governor Larry Hogan has pulled back from Harvard University over a student group's letter blaming Israel for the Hamas attacks. In a post on social media, the Republican shared a letter he sent to the school, and it reads, quote, "I cannot condone the dangerous anti-Semitism that has taken root on your campus, especially by more than 30 Harvard student organizations attempting to justify and celebrate Hamas's terrorism against innocent Israeli and American civilians." Voters first elected Hogan as governor in 2014. He won re-election in 2018. He left office in January with high approval ratings. Here's what you're saying about it. Still getting high marks on social media. Thank you, Governor Hogan. As someone who has family in Israel and family in Europe that are Holocaust survivors, I appreciate your speaking on behalf of the minority. And then you have Faith saying, this is an example of integrity. An off-duty Alaska Airlines pilot who was riding in the cockpit of a Horizon flight is accused of trying to turn off the plane's engines mid-flight. 44-year-old Joseph David Emerson is facing 83 counts of attempted murder and reckless endangerment. According to the pilot flying the plane, Emerson was authorized to occupy the cockpit jump seat, but he tried to shut off the plane's engines. He was subdued by the crew. A passenger on the flight says it appears he had a mental breakdown. Very scary. But here's what you're saying. Johnny says, how come mental breakdowns are never like, and he gave out $2,000 to everyone sitting in coach? It's always, he tried to fly the plane into a volcano. Someone else saying, and yet, U.S. airlines are lobbying for a single pilot cockpit staffing simply to save money. Asinine idea. Kim Kardashian is launching a line of Skims clothing for men. It will include boxers, briefs, and undershirts. Kardashian says she sees an opportunity for higher-end products for men in a category dominated by mass brands. Prices will range from $16 to $54. Here's what you're saying. All the girls are buying these for their boyfriends for Christmas. I just know it. Someone else? Kim just wants to be a trillionaire at this point. Well, still ahead, it's not how it's supposed to look. A plane tips backwards, sending its nose up into the air. How it happened and the safety checks the plane will now undergo before flying again. But first, Donald Trump is due back in court today. His former ally turned critic who could testify today. 11:13 now on Fox 45 News Midday. It's 11:15 now. We're back with a live look over the Inner Harbor. We are in the middle of a major warm-up. We started off in the 30s this morning, but we are warming up to the 70s. Coming up, when we could actually hit 80s and how long that warmth will last before rain moves back in. Happening today, former President Donald Trump is expected back in court for his ongoing civil fraud trial in New York. Trump's expected appearance comes as his former lawyer, Michael Cohen, is set to testify in the case. Trump previously attended the trial for 2 days last week. The former president expected to testify later in the trial. This lawsuit in New York alleges the Trump Organization conspired to inflate the former president's net worth to secure loans. Talks are set to resume today in the Hollywood actors strike. About 65,000 actors in the Screen Actors Guild have been on strike since July. The union and studios have been at odds over wage increases and protections for actors against the use of AI. The United Auto Workers strike is getting bigger and bigger. Roughly 6,800 workers walked out of a Stellantis plant in Sterling Heights, Michigan on Monday in a surprise expansion. Now, this brings the total number of workers on strike to more than 40,000. Stellantis says it is outraged, arguing it gave workers a very strong offer with a 23% wage increase. The workers say it's the worst offer on the table so far when it comes to wage progression and cost of living adjustments.
It's time the working class gets their fair share and the corporate class pays up. That's it. They keep taking everything and the workers keep going further and further behind. Those days are done.
This is the 7th assembly plant the UAW has shut down during the strike. Now, it is unclear how the strike is impacting car sales just yet, but we do know some companies are offering discounts on electric cars. The reason? Growing competition and some reticence from consumers. The Tesla Model 3 base price is down 17% over the last year. A town hall this evening featuring former Baltimore Mayor Sheila Dixon, who is running for mayor once again. At 4, what we can hear from Dixon on her vision for Baltimore. The car of a Baltimore woman is stolen not once, but twice. At 5, the juvenile suspects and why she believes they evaded accountability. And protecting children from harm while on the internet. At 6, the move from Maryland's Attorney General to better protect children. You can get Fox 45 News in a flash through your Amazon Alexa or Echo. We now deliver your local headlines and forecasts in less than 2 minutes. If you have an Amazon device, tell it to enable Fox 45 tomorrow. 11:18 and now to today's talking point. It's not something you see every day. A JetBlue airplane tips backwards. Look at that, sending its nose up into the air. It happened while crews were unloading the plane at New York's JFK airport. The airline says a shift in weight caused the tail to tip backward and the nose to lift up. It's not known if anyone was on board at the time, but no injuries were reported. JetBlue is reviewing the incident and says mechanics will inspect the plane before it flies again. Mark Clark with Be More Lifestyle is here now. Not something you want to have happen. I mean, surprising that it could. How many planes have been flown? How much do we know about balance and what's needed?
Yeah, I mean, when you're on a plane, I think I get it, Patrice. I think we're programmed to be stupid and not ask questions. Because when you're on a plane, from the flimsy doors that you touch to the food that we used to eat, I guess they cut back on that, right? To even the little soda. You don't really ask a lot of questions, but there are a lot of questions. You be looking at stuff like, is this solid?
You just have faith.
You just have faith,
cross
right?
Your fingers.
It's like blind faith.
But but you trust that industry knows what they're doing, that they're going to do right by the people that are trusting them. I mean, you know how to not have a plane tip backwards. That seems like a pretty big thing. I know, and also the thing that's always going on when you go get your plane, rushing around. Everybody's rushing around. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody taking the time. Did somebody put the kickstand down on this plane? You know what I mean? Bob didn't put the kickstand down. Now we tipped up. Well, listen, all of it's scary. I mean, that's not as scary as the pilot trying to stop the plane in mid-flight. It's scary. We need a moment. All right.
We need a woosah? Okay,
we need a
woosah.
All right. Well, Mother Nature is putting on a show. As meteorologist Justin Chambers shows us, the fall leaves are really starting to change colors.
Kind of a cool photo here of some of those nice clouds in Georgia along with those fall colors. Of course, you know I love showing those fall colors off, and they sure are looking pretty good as we have a lot of those around here. But this is actually from Allison in Georgia there. Sent that picture. She works in the Chattanooga market. Looking at your hour-by-hour forecast, numbers here in the mid to upper 60s and even some lower 70s in that 2 and 3 o'clock hour, which will be about 4 or 5 degrees above average and a bit warmer than where we were yesterday afternoon. So if we officially get to 70, that'll be 4 degrees above average and 5 degrees warmer than yesterday's highs. Now, less wind as well for today. That sun will be up until 6:16 this evening. Those daylight hours are definitely shrinking, and we have the time change coming up as well when we fall back. Here's a look at your high temps across Carroll and Baltimore counties, mid to upper 60s, and a few areas that'll hit right near 70 degrees. 68 in Dundalk, 66 your temp in Perry Hall and White Marsh this afternoon. Howard and Anne Arundel counties also in the upper 60s for Ellicott City and Columbia over to Elk Ridge, 68 Glen Burnie, Pasadena, 67 in Severna Park this afternoon. And up and down the 95 corridor, we'll keep those 60s and 70s going. Actually a little warmer to the west, so western Maryland at 71 in Cumberland, upper 70s as you go further west on the other side of the mountains. Now, our temperature tracker trending upwards, upper 70s and lower 80s as we take you into Friday and Saturday. So this weekend, the final one of October, will be very nice. Here's a look at our future scan. Ridge of high pressure keeping us high and dry. That's going to slide out toward the east, and then we'll get more of the cloud cover rolling in on Wednesday afternoon, but not tracking any rain with that. And then on Thursday, that high slides a little bit farther down to the south, and we'll pick up more of that southerly component to bring in the warmer air moving in and keeping us well above average. 10-day forecast, which does include Halloween now, so mid-70s on Wednesday, upper 70s, lower 80s as we head toward the end of the weekend. We'll still be in the mid-70s Monday with some rain showers coming through, but right now, looks like that rain moves out. We're cooler but drier for Halloween next Tuesday.
Well, still ahead, these pups are training hard. Coming up, how the guide dogs are learning important lessons at Baltimore's airport. And if you are cooking for family this upcoming holiday season, listen up. Some stores will start offering discounts on staple items this month. Just how much one report says you could save. 11:22 now on Fox 45 News. 11:25. Don't miss this. The animals at the London Zoo are getting into the Halloween spirit. Zookeepers gave some of the animals tasty pumpkins to snack on. They were even garnished with cinnamon and nutmeg. It is almost time to start making your menu for the upcoming holiday season. And when you go to buy your groceries, you could actually save this year. That's good news. The Wall Street Journal says you'll actually be seeing some supermarket promotions this year. Food industry executives cut back on sales in recent years because of supply chain issues and inflation. ConAgra, maker of the Bird's Eye brand, says it is able to offer some discounts this year, though prices are still higher than a year ago. A major Thanksgiving gathering in Baltimore is changing homes temporarily. The Big Daddy Thanksgiving dinner has served the needy for 42 years in Baltimore. Because of renovations at the Virginia Baker Center in Patterson Park, it is moving to the Middle Branch Fitness and Wellness Center in Cherry Hill. The hope is for the dinner to return to Patterson Park next year. Take a look at some adorable pups. There they are, guide dogs in training. They recently visited BWI Thurgood Marshall Airport. They're learning how to guide their future humans through airports and TSA checkpoints. The dogs are with the group Guiding Eyes for the Blind, which raises puppies for the visually impaired. Well, that's all we have for Fox 45 News Midday. Be More Lifestyle is up next. Mark Clark back to tell us what they're working on.
Well, Patrice, it appears Chiefs head coach Andy Reid is a big Taylor Swift fan, and he's especially fond of the idea that she's dating his star player. We talk about that and more coming up on Be More Lifestyle. Who knew?
You're watching Fox 45 in Baltimore. Now live from TV Hill, this is Be More Lifestyle.
And what's up, Baltimore? I'm Mark Clark, and this is Be More Lifestyle live from Studio A at Fox Baltimore. Motivation speaker Eric Rittmeyer is here, getting us fired up along with the beautiful Persia Nicole from 92Q. Good morning, team. Let me tell you right now, Halloween is exactly 1 week away. A lot of people will be out trick-or-treating with their kids, but how old is too old to trick or treat? It's a controversial topic each year, and now some cities are imposing rules to regulate the holiday tradition. And here in Maryland, town code in St. Michael's in Talbot County restricts trick-or-treating to those 12 and under. Wow. Sit down. Okay, so Persia Nicole, you're 17. How do you feel about this this code? This, do you agree that it should be a limit?
It should definitely be a limit. Like at this point, once you get to your teenage years and you think you're so grown, don't come knocking on my door and asking for candy at all. Like you're done after 12. When you get into your 13s, you're done. No more candy for you.
Yeah, so Eric, I think it's interesting. I think dressing up and walking around, I think is fine. But yeah, when you're asking for candy, it's almost like, really, dude, like you're competing with a 4-year-old. What's your take on it?
I just let my kids go out and get the candy.
And what is trick-or-treating, though? Like, if you're walking around in a costume, can you do that? Is that considered trick-or-treating? Or is actually asking for candy trick-or-treating?
I think there's a cutoff somewhere, but like I said, I send my kids out. You got to do the safety test, you know what I mean? So you got to check every piece of candy, and they got nothing left to get upset. So it's like, I just go out dressed up as like a middle-aged, bald head, overweight, former Marine. I get a lot of candy that way. It works really well.
I do a version of Eric. I dress up as a version of Eric. Okay, so Persia Nicole, did you ever say trick-or-treat, smell my feet? Did you ever say that as a young person?
What is it? Give me something good to eat all the time.
Okay.
I still know it, so that means I should probably like grow up a little bit. But yeah, we all did it. Did we not? Did you not do it?
I never did. Eric, did you?
Never?
I tell people to smell my feet every day, so I don't just wait for Halloween.
Eric, that's the website, though. That's the website. Okay, that's another thing. We want you to tell it. Should trick-or-treating be limited to certain ages? Vote on our website, foxbaltimore.com/vote. When you get to the website, make sure you click on our Lifestyles tab. Also, you can vote on our Fox 45 News app. At the end of the show, we'll see what everybody thinks. It appears Chief Heads coach Andy Reid is a big Taylor Swift fan. He's especially fond of the idea she's dating his star tight end, Travis Kelce. Swift has attended 5 Chief games since it's been rumored that her and Kelce are dating, and the Chiefs have won every single game. Head coach Andy Reid saying Taylor can stay around all she wants. Persia Nicole, does she have magic? Is Taylor working her magic?
I'm just happy she didn't have the Kardashian curse that everybody says that it comes with dating the ladies. I am a Swiftie. I like Taylor Swift, but I'm just so annoyed, I think, at this point with the whole connection with the NFL and Taylor Swift. Like, if they are really dating, which I guess they are, like, leave it at that. Like, why do we have to do the most with this, right? Like, watching sport is not Taylor.
Eric, that's the part that kind of, I'm having the white flag is, if you really were dating, I mean, they are just in front of every camera. They're kissing and high-fiving the quarterback's wife. It almost feels like put on. What do you think? You're an entrepreneur. You're a businessman. You're a marketing guy. Are we getting played?
I'm gonna catch a ton of hate for this. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. I just can't feel it. I know. It's all right. Okay, look.
His business. Oh, the stock prices are so. Do not do it.
I can't. I just can't. I don't know what it is.
Don't mess with the Swifties. Don't mess with the Beehive. Come on,
hey,
Eric.
If somebody's gonna wear like stinky socks that makes them win, they're not gonna wash their jockstrap is gonna make them win. If it's Taylor Swift, whatever it is, if it's making them win, it's making them win. But we got to put a lot of emphasis on the guys out there getting it in, right?
Okay,
I mean, they're the ones that are winning the games.
All right. Okay. Again, Swifties, please. That's Eric's talking. Me and Persia over here. Yay, Swifties. Okay, more young adults are moving back in with mom and dad. The reason they're trying to save up for their own home. A recent survey found about 30% of those wanting to buy a home say they moved back with their parents in order to save up, and another 22% say they would consider doing so. Let me just say this. Y'all ain't gonna have enough money. I don't mind my kids moving back to stay with me. But having your own home, you probably ain't gonna have one. We're probably gonna have to give you this house.
You know, I'm fine with it. My girls are 19 and 21. I don't want them to move.
Right. But the average price, they're saying the average price I think now is like $400,000 or something crazy. Your kids buying their own home, unless they're in IT or whatever, is I don't want to be negative, but Persia Nicole, you know what I'm saying? What do you think? Are they really saving up to buy a house, or they're just trying to get over?
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, my son's 8, but if he ever wants to come back home, he can absolutely come back home. I don't really care. As long as he went through his college, did what he's supposed to do, and he's working, like, you can't live with me for free. If you're trying to save up money, you're still going to have to pay for the milk and the bread and all your snacks.
Okay.
And eat up all my food and expect a home-cooked meal. No.
You're better than me. I'm going to say this. My mom had that philosophy. That's why I got out of the house at 18. But my kids, because like you said, I got girls. They can stay. They can eat. They don't got to pay nothing.
I joined the Marine Corps, I shipped out, it was my time to go. So it was like, I feel like kids, I agree. If they're like coming home, just like stay home to hang out, to like go out every weekend and spend $500 on a bar tab, that's not saving for a house.
Okay, now wait a minute. Now we got some old school young people here. Look at you two. Okay, well, thanks so much. Back to your #1 rated show, Persia Nicole. Back to your billion-dollar industry. And Eric's going to be a guest on the show more regularly coming up, okay?
Appreciate it, Mark.
Still ahead, it may be cold out, but that doesn't mean your home should be. Coming up, how simple design choices can help you make your home a warm and welcoming space this winter. But first, losing your wallet is not only a hassle, it puts you at financial risk. We'll tell you about a way you can not have to worry about it coming up next.
You're watching Be More Lifestyle.
It's a nightmare scenario. Losing wallet or purse. They've loaded with everything vital like your driver's license, credit card, debit cards, cash, and more. Julie Moran from America Steals and Deals has found a way to make sure this doesn't happen to you. Here she is to explain.
The following segment is sponsored by Naki.
I just love my KeySmart Smart Card, and you will never lose your wallet or anything that you value again with KeySmart. And I love that it's as thin as 2 credit cards, so you can put it anywhere. Like if it works for you, put it in your wallet. You can put it in your briefcase. You can put it in a suitcase or a backpack or anything of value that you don't want to lose. Now, say if I drop my wallet in a parking lot, which I've done, I will hear a ringtone once I'm 200 feet away on my phone. And also, if you don't hear it, you'll get an alert on your phone that you've left it behind, and you'll get the exact location. And the smart card uses the Find My iPhone app. It's so easy to set up, and that connects you. And I love that you only have to charge this once a year. The charge lasts for an entire year, so you don't have to keep taking it out and recharging it and redoing it. Well, once I threw my wallet in a garbage can, and if I had had KeySmart, I'd have known where my wallet was before the garbage truck came and it took my wallet away. Then I had to get new credit cards, new license, all of that. It was terrible. Well, right now we're offering 25% off on the KeySmart Smart Card. So we want you to head over to asadeals.com for this absolutely, I just love this, amazing exclusive offer right now.
It's where we spend most of our time, so why not make our home a little oasis? For a closer look on how to create a calming space, here's Sarbina Soto. Check it out.
This Be More Lifestyle segment is sponsored by Napoleon.
Hi, I'm interior designer Sabrina Soto. Designing a home with health and wellness in mind can help to create a space that promotes physical, mental, and emotional well-being. This year's top design trends are all about creating relaxing and comfortable spaces to gather with family and friends. I like to incorporate fire to add warmth and a calming effect to a space, and even more so after a recent University of Illinois study that shows a fireplace can positively impact your health and well-being. And that has to be putting fireplaces in all sorts of spaces like bedrooms, bathrooms, even home gyms. The versatility of fireplaces has grown tremendously over the past few years, and Napoleon has great options for every home type and design style. Another design idea is to bring in natural elements like marble, onyx, wood, and stone. And colors also change the mood of a room. So bright and warm colors stimulate energy and happiness, while cool, subdued colors are soothing. Learn more and find a local fireplace dealer at Napoleon.com.
Still ahead, Halloween will be here before you know it. It's a fun time for kids, but it can be dangerous for pets. Coming up, we'll chat with a vet about how to keep our furry friends safe this Halloween. But first, Karamo is back for season 2. Coming up, Lady T sits down with the man himself with a look behind the scenes and answers to your questions. Stick around.
This is Be More Lifestyle.
All right, y'all. He's bringing his enthusiasm and fresh voice to the new season of his talk show. Karamo joins us now to talk about the new season of his show. Karamo, welcome to our show today. Hey.
Lady T, what's up, girl?
I am so excited that you're here. You're fashionable. You're fabulous. You're amazing. What's going on?
You know, I'm just excited because we launched in season 2, and trust me, when I was doing season 1, I was in the moment, but I was also thinking about that future of like, how do we get to season 2? And the fact that the audience loved it, people tuned in, our ratings looks great. I'm like, and we're back. So I'm just excited for season 2.
Okay, well, look, Karamo, your job is not done yet because Baltimore needs your help, baby, okay?
I'm down. I'm down.
So I asked viewers to send me their questions so that you can help them. So let's take a look
I've been with my girl for about 8 months now, and every now and then she feels the need to go through my phone. I haven't given her any reason to. What should I do?
Ooh, Karamo, and you be unlocking phones on your show.
I do unlock phones on my show.
It's the best part. It's the best part because you never know what you're going to find in there. So what does he do?
The reason I unlock phones on my show is because I'm all about facts over feelings. If you have insecurities about what your partner's doing, then I'm going to actually find the facts to show you if they are not. So there's a reason by it.
As you should. As I should. But on my show, it's a consent. So if this girl is going through your phone and there's no consent there, or if it's continual, now there's an issue. And now you have to ask her, are you going to challenge yourself to grow past your insecurities? Ooh. Because if I've not given you anything to make you feel insecure, why am I going to constantly be in trouble for the actions of someone else? And if you're not able to grow past that, then we got to break this up. Because let me tell you something, I've been in a relationship where people want to consistently tell you, accuse you, check you. It ain't healthy and it's not worth it. We all deserve someone who's going to respect us and who's going to say to us, you know what? I trust you. We're going to build this trust together so that we can be in a healthy relationship. I'm done with toxic relationships. We can keep toxic relationships in that horrible dating pool that we about to throw out. That's right. And it's all about what you're willing to deal with and handle. And we ain't dealing with toxicity.
But nobody deal with that.
No.
Nobody deal with that. When you introduce somebody to your family, know that they're not going to be able to move on as quickly as you do if you decide to break up.
Karamo, your advice is much appreciated. Thank you again. Also, you all can watch Karamo weekdays at noon here on Fox 45.
Mother Nature really is putting on a show. Meteorologist Justin Chambers shows us right now the leaves are already turning as we speak.
Reed Timmer is known for storm chasing, but also chasing the extreme leaves right here. Extreme leaf peeping is what he calls it. This is in North Carolina. You can see that shot right there. Maybe probably on a bike. Yeah, it looks like a bike trail right there. So kind of a great shot with some of those really awesome fall colors. We're getting pretty close to peak right here in central Maryland, but you go to the mountains, you're really seeing some of those pops of the yellows and the reds and the oranges. Plenty of sunshine for us today and less wind to blow those leaves around. We do have a warmer afternoon ahead after our cold morning, and then a big warm up is coming as we head later into the week here. So taking a look at those temperatures next few hours, upper 60s through 1 p.m. into the lower 70s for some of us in that 2 and 3 o'clock hour for the afternoon. And all in all, a very nice fall day with numbers in the mid to upper 60s for the eastern shore across the Bay Bridge to Annapolis, almost 70 in Columbia and Laurel, should hit that 70-degree mark in Baltimore City, and even warmer in western Maryland. You can see those warmer temperatures, Cleveland, Columbus, over through Charleston, West Virginia, other side of the Appalachians, a little bit warmer there. And we'll tap into more of those warm temperatures later this week. You can see that right here with our temperature tracker. So well above average Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, even sneaking into the lower 80s on Friday and Saturday. But then notice those numbers fall off by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. So here's our future scan. We stay dry today and tomorrow. You'll get a little bit more cloud cover rolling in on Wednesday afternoon, but that's just a system passing to the north of us. So we're not tracking any rain. That high is going to slide back down to the south, and by Thursday and Friday really bring in that southerly component. That ridge of high pressure kind of spins around clockwise, pulls up all that warm air, especially into that warm or that ahead of that cold front, which is why we're going to warm up so much and have these well above average numbers. 10-day forecast, not too bad. We're dry pretty much through Sunday. Monday brings our next chance for rain, and then on Tuesday, which is Halloween next week, our temperatures come down considerably, only lower 60s, but it does look to stay dry for trick-or-treating.
The change in seasons can cause your allergies to act up. That's why now is the perfect time for cleaning your home's air ducts. Check this out.
Your Place Inside and Out is sponsored by HB Home Service Team.
We always love a good home improvement tip. And this week on Your Place Inside and Out, the home tip is focusing on the importance of scheduling an air duct cleaning. This process involves using professional tools to get rid of all the dirt, the debris, and the dust that's built up inside your ductwork. Your ducts play an important role in the home as they circulate air from your heating and cooling systems to all of your rooms to keep you comfortable. Cleaning them also improves the indoor air quality, it eliminates odors, boosts your unit's efficiency, and so much more. If you need a hand when it comes to improving your home, we have pros here to help.
Trust the HB Home Service Team for all your plumbing and HVAC needs. From protecting your home systems with a maintenance agreement to the peace of mind knowing we're available 24/7, 365, the HB Home Service Team is just a phone call away. Home serviced better since 1914.
Halloween will be here before you know it, and while it's a fun time for kids, it can be a dangerous time for our pets. That's especially true if they get into the kids' candy buckets. Joining us now to talk about ways to keep our pets safe this Halloween is our favorite veterinarian, Dr. Devon Smith.
Yeah,
How
good
are
to
you?
be here.
And so I always forget, Paul.
Paul, it says it on his candy corn name tag.
And Paul got a bath.
Paul got a bath for today, so he is ready.
Okay, I'm asking the questions, right? I'm going to read them now. So, what should people know about candy and their pets?
Sure. So I feel like most pet owners are aware of this, but I think it's important to reiterate as trick-or-treating approaches on Tuesday. The biggest thing is going to be chocolate, right? You know, Reese's, Hershey's, all of that good stuff.
He's like mouth water.
You know, it's not, they have to really ingest a lot of chocolate to cause any drastic concerns from a medical perspective, but eating any sort of candy can make their tummy upset because they're not used to it. They really shouldn't have it. And so the best thing to do is keep your kids' chocolate, you know, where the dogs can't reach it, and make sure that they just don't have access to that supply.
So not just the, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, the other thing that I don't think people really think about is costumes, and that they could be scary to your pet.
Right.
You know, I think, you know, if your child wants to be the Scream character for Halloween and, you know, comes running down the hallway, that would terrify Paul.
Paul is terrified.
Well, Paul lives in a constant state of terror, but, you know, terrorizing me, clearly. But that is something I think people might not realize is costumes could be really scary or intimidating to a pet.
That is so true.
And it could put us in a situation that's really heartbreaking, like it could result in a bite or some sort of aggressive behavior unintentionally. And so I think we just have to be really mindful of how costumes might impact our pets and maybe keep them away for the night or acclimate them to the children in the costumes. Maybe if we're doing a mask, keep the mask off first and then put it on and let the dog kind of smell you. You know, don't come running out, you know, to your dog in some scary outfit.
And what about the items associated with, you know, you speak in the costumes, but like the lanterns, the glow sticks, the decorations, the things that are around, is that the same thing?
Yeah.
They might eat it, they might be freaked out by it.
If you have a dog like, I mean, Paul will eat anything. I mean, he's eaten Lifeball, you name it, and veterinarians make the worst pet owners, so let me just get that out of the way. But certainly glow sticks can be an issue and toxic and irritating to the GI tract. I don't really worry about pumpkins. If a pet chews on a pumpkin, not super alarmed about that, but if there's a candle, obviously that could become a fire hazard. So as much as we want our pets to be a part of the holiday, just use your judgment and know your animal and what type of situation might be uncomfortable for them.
And so also, let's talk about the trick-or-treaters. We got extra kids coming to the door, ringing the doorbell, a lot of activity. I mean, unfamiliar faces and activity. How do we prepare our pets for that?
I think it goes back to kind of what I was talking about with your children or adults in your own home in costume is if you're not comfortable or sure of how your pet might react, the safest thing is to keep them away from the situation. So it might be one of those nights where they hang out in their crate or in a bedroom by themselves, just so that nobody's put in a tough situation. The other thing is with all that opening and closing of the front door, you could have a pet get out. And last thing we want is a hit by a car, lost pet. And so I think it's one of those holidays where we really just need to be mindful of the type of pet that we own and how is the situation going to impact them.
Well, Doc, it's always great to see you, always great information. Can people follow you?
Yeah, so Dr. Devon Smith on Instagram, and the veterinary clinic that I work at is in Whitehall, Maryland, and that's Madonna Veterinary Clinic, and I've actually just been put in charge of that Instagram too, so you can check us out there.
I love it. Thanks for joining us as always, okay?
Yeah.
Still ahead when it comes to trick-or-treating, how old is too old? Coming up, when do you think kids need to hang up their baskets? And parents. Halloween is exactly 1 week away. A lot of people will be out trick-or-treating with their kids, but how old is too old to trick-or-treat? It's a controversial topic each year, and now some cities are imposing rules to regulate the holiday tradition. And here in Maryland, 2 town codes in St. Michael's and Talbot County restricts trick-or-treating for those 12 and under. We wanted you to tell it. Should trick-or-treating be limited to certain ages? Right now, most of you are saying yes. Okay, that's sensible. Thank you for inviting us into your home. Make sure you follow Be More Lifestyle.